Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chucklers podcast. This is episode number 9. With us today is Eric.
Great.
He's right there. We're doing this with video today.
Wow.
We'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah, however long.
And Paul's actually with me here today. He's not in Indiana like he usually is.
Wow, yeah, we're doing this live this time.
Live.
This is
kinda.
the second time we've done this live.
Yeah. Is this live?
Yeah, this is
live.
Is this on?
It's on.
Okay.
Alright, well. Eric,
What's
do
up?
you know what segment comes next?
No.
Oh. Well, we're going to thank our sponsors today.
We have to sit out here and wait a long periodically time.
Alright, thank you, sponsor. We appreciate you. Paul. It's Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what Sunday is?
Sunday is
a day that you rest for the Lord. But besides that, it's the first Sunday where I actually have nothing to do, which is really nice.
nice.
I feel like for most of the time during the school year, you just never have like a day off.
Yeah.
But today's the first day because I actually was able to get some homework done.
Nice.
So this podcast is going to be real chill.
Real chill.
Real chill.
I mean, they're always chill.
Are
But,
they?
like,
This one's going to be even chiller.
even chill. We're approaching -0.
-0? What about -293 degree Kelvin?
That's below absolute zero.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 273.
Ah, damn. I thought it was 293. What's 293?
293. Well, 290. Well,
Is 293 a significant number anywhere?
that's 20 degrees Celsius. So that's room temperature. There's standard models for room temperature. That's an interesting thing. It's like, so like obviously 0 degrees Celsius, water freezes. But if you say room temperature
Yeah.
in like a scientific study, it's either 20 degrees Celsius or 23 degrees Celsius. And then a whole bunch of different atmospheric conditions too.
Bro, you know it's sexist, right?
Yeah, it's insane, dude. That's it. Okay, explain it. Explain it a little bit.
Alright, for anybody who isn't familiar with annoying SJWs, there is a girl that I think she was on the news. Oh boy. I think she said this live on TV, where she was arguing that room temperatures are sexist because girls feel colder they feel colder at room temperature than the guys do, and that apparently room temperature is based on guys' temperatures. Yeah, I don't understand how that makes any sense.
That's just like...
Glaciers are also sexist.
Oh yeah, glaciers.
I don't know.
I'll let you guys
Yeah.
figure that one out.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy. Look it up yourself. Know the facts.
It's a conspiracy.
Alex Jones.
Is that really? Oh, it
No,
wasn't
it's
an
not.
Alex Jones
No,
thing. Yeah.
no. It was a government funded. Yes, our tax dollars went to that one. But the
Yeah.
glaciers are sexist.
I think I remember. So we talked about that before. Was that just what the study was for, like sexist glaciers, or was it like just part of something else?
No, I'm pretty sure the main hypothesis was whether it was. I'm trying to remember the study. This was like what 2 years ago when we saw this.
Yeah.
I think they were talking about global warming and that glaciers are sexist because when they melt, girls are more like women and children are more likely to like drown. I swear it was something really dumb like that.
That's a connection
Go ahead and look it up.
that is invalid.
Wish it.
So because of this,
Just look up
yeah,
women. Just look up glaciers are sexist.
sexist glaciers.
Yeah, sexy glaciers.
Yeah, that's the number one problem that we have in the world right now. Sexist glaciers. I love this podcast.
This is going so well.
Oh man.
This is podcast number 9. What do you expect?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
We're almost at 10.
we're almost at 10.
I like when I put glaciers to the sexist. The first article comes. Hugh Hefner was a sexist, not a hero.
What does he have to do with glaciers?
I have no idea.
Grand conspiracies.
Don't get me wrong, Hugh Hefner isn't exactly an idol.
Yeah.
And moving on.
Moving on. All right.
How many days until Bobby Shmurda gets out, Paul?
I didn't do the math.
Duh. What is this?
Man, it's just one more day. At
What?
least one more day. Yeah. I don't know.
2000. It's -7 from last podcast, so if you want to know, It's just minus. Actually, it's -9.
The solution to the problem will be left as an exercise to the listener.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, we can't always be doing the entire work here.
Yeah,
guys.
you guys gotta start pulling your weight.
Our incredible fan base, all 5 of you, we need your help.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, what's going on in your life, huh?
In my life?
In your life.
Well,
I don't see you in person often until, the warmth comes in.
Oh, yeah.
It's been really nice today, though.
It's insane. So, this probably happens on most college campuses, but whenever there's like a really nice day, the hammocks everywhere. And so there's 2 big spots on campus where there are hammocks, like where hammockers flock.
Where hammockers flock?
Hammockers. I'm gonna make up that word and use it. Where hammockers flock.
Is it also sexist?
No. Stop with the sexist thing, alright? So there's Engineering Mall, or Engineering Fountain, which is exactly what it sounds like, just a huge fountain. And there's a whole bunch of trees that are perfectly spaced for hammocks, be like a little bit off the ground. And so there are a whole bunch of people lined around there. Probably like a dozen hammocks that I saw one day. And then there's also another place by our union that it's just like an elevated like forest area. It's really cool. And I probably saw about like 10 hammocks there too. So
at least 10.
At least 10. Yeah. So it's weird because there's an unspoken thing about everyone with hammocks. It's like, oh, today is the day that we're gonna congregate,
People, they don't talk about it, they just know.
Yeah, it's like today, like, oh, it's super sunny and it's decent weather, hammocks, right? But it's super comfortable. I lost 2 hammocks. I'm really pissed.
What?
Yeah.
How?
I think
they're huge.
Well, when I didn't like have it like strung out. It was like in a little package. That's how I use it. Like basically when I was moving out of the dorms freshman year, I think I left it in there. So whoever moved in next time, they got a free hammock. Then I tried to buy another one, and I lost that.
Oh.
I think I was just being stupid. I probably left it somewhere.
I almost bought a hammock, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
True story.
Wow.
Well, just to go back really quick to that glaciers being sexist point, the University of Oregon have determined that glaciers and the science that studies them are deeply sexist. Merging feminist post-colonial science studies and feminist political ecology, the feminist glaciology framework generates robust analysis of gender power and epistemology.
Words. In
dynamic social ecological systems, thereby leading to more just and equitable science and human-ice interactions. Yeah, so just complete horseshit. So in case someone does want to do something about this, there was a 5-year grant given to the National Science Foundation. It was studied by Dr. Mark Carey and some student researchers, supported by our tax dollars. Specifically, $709,125.
$709,000. Wow.
That could have been
$750,000.
So, I'm trying to figure out really quick what this is. Carey concluded, glacier research is intertwined with gender relations, masculine culture, geopolitics, institutional power, and racism. These apparently led to glacier-related academic and governmental jobs being predominantly filled by men. Damage from melting glaciers target women with ethnic minorities who are more vulnerable to glacier changes and hazards than are men.
It sounds like someone basically took 2 words, glaciers and feminism,
and put them together.
And just like, alright, I was given money, how do I connect these 2 things?
Yeah, it sounds like it's
a very unusual connection that was made. So that's for sure.
It sounds like someone just wanted to find a problem somewhere in a really weird spot, and they found it. In whatever terms they decided were reasonable, and somehow enough to have a grant of $709,000. Could you imagine what we could do with $709,000?
Invested. We could be big. We could redesign our website. That's one thing.
That's what we could do. We
Still
could also,
under construction. That's our excuse.
We could also like take off work for like a year.
I could almost pay for my entire tuition.
What? You're 709,000.
Oh wait, yes. For some reason I was thinking of like 100,000. Yeah. Oh yeah. I could. How many tuitions is that? Tuition units.
I'm guessing on average tuition for 4 years is like 100,000 or 80,000.
Yeah.
So like 7.
7 tuitions.
You go to college 7 times.
Yeah.
Had a really nice one too.
Harvard.
So I knew this guy that he graduated. I think.
Oh, I knew him too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Then you know the story. Never mind.
Yeah.
Moving
Let me
on.
tell the story.
Yeah, Omar. So tell me about this guy, though.
Yeah, so this guy, right? He swims on the evenings. He goes to a gym nearby, and Paul actually met him in the locker room. They were talking about Pokemon, and he actually walked up and he was like, "Yo, hey, I got this Charizard. What's the deal? Are we looking to battle right now? Like, you're on my territory." And Paul was like, "No, I'm not in your territory, sir. I'm gonna back away."
That was a surprisingly cohesive story. But okay.
Take some practice.
Yeah. So for real, this guy that I knew, he was on one of my design teams, and like for some reason he like okay he basically he like triple majored, right? He triple majored in aerospace engineering, psychology, and mathematics, right? Basically just all the different things, right? It was kind of insane. I think at one point he was taking like 26 credit hours. So, like, you could basically do that 7 times with the...
What counselor is saying that that's okay? Like, I hear people having a hard time trying to get 20 in one semester.
I think...
Like, this guy must have proved something to that person.
Yeah, like, he must have done something, like, insane.
Yeah, or paid him.
To pay the advisors, like, look, I'm gonna give you an override, but, you know, it's gonna cost you, you know? It's like, what? Okay.
If that's happening somewhere, you know it.
Bribing advisors? I mean, so, like, why would you bribe the advisors? Why don't you just bribe, like, professors? Don't do
That's
it.
also happening, I bet.
Like, some places.
I bet it's happening in the U.S. Guarantee it. At least one person.
Statistically, yeah.
It doesn't have to be monetarily.
Yeah. Bake sales.
Bake sales?
Yeah.
Tell me about the, you were talking about that U.S.
Oh, yeah.
The U.S.
Let me bring it up, because it's a long name. So,
Oh shit.
I recently came across this. The U.S. Space Commerce Free Enterprise Act of 2017. So, let me set the stage.
This is recent.
Yeah, it's really recent.
It's almost current year.
It's almost current year. So, so right now, no government can claim like a part of space, right? Like you can't, like the U.S. We put a flag on the moon, but it's not like U.S. territory, right? That's like a, I think it's a UN charter, you know, that's like basically signed by everyone, saying like U.S. is the property of all of mankind, right?
The U.S.
The space,
the moon.
No, space is the property of all mankind, right? Now that limits ownership of space entities to governments. However, there's nothing to say that like companies and individuals can't own like parts of space, right? So that's where this the U.S. Commerce Free Enterprise Act comes in. In a nutshell, I'm just going to read this off because it's kind of confusing. Individuals can own resources taken from heavenly bodies like asteroids, but not the asteroid itself. So you can't own an asteroid, but you can mine the asteroid and like keep the resources for it, right? So for example, if you set up a company to start mining an asteroid, there's nothing stopping another company from mining that same asteroid, right? And I think, right, so here's a scenario that I'm gonna set. Space mining companies are a thing, right? Space mining, like, space company...
Hold on.
Yeah, what?
Space mining companies are a thing already?
No, like, I'm setting, let's say that they are.
Oh, okay.
But, like, there's already companies, like, starting up to do that.
Yeah, they're trying to create like some way to bring the asteroids close to Earth, get the resources, bring them back down.
Yeah. So the easiest way to get the resources is to bring the asteroids to Earth, like lock it in an orbit. So let's say that company A does that. So now there's a big old asteroid orbiting Earth. Well, because they can't own the asteroid, only the resources that they mine from it, company B can actually just go up to the asteroid and just start mining it itself. And so I think when like you have that much like resources at stake, like one asteroid can basically bring in like $1 trillion worth of materials. I think the first space battles that are going to occur, it's not going to occur between nations fighting over resources. It's going to occur between private companies, like battling it out for asteroids. So, space pirates, space mercenaries, technically.
It'll be cheaper for us to get asteroid material because of that competition. You know how economics work.
Oh, I'm talking about like actual battles,
Yeah,
as in like like Star Trek and Star Wars and all that stuff. But
Jesus. Yeah, I was about to say, are you talking about Star Wars?
So I guess
Asteroid Wars.
I wanted to bring that up. The question I'd like to pose to you guys is basically what do you think of like the ethics of that? Do you think that or what do you think about the direction like mankind basically mining asteroids, and what do you think are going to be the implications of that?
I don't think there's a point in limiting what we do when it comes to something that doesn't seem to be harmless. Whatever materials we could possibly find, it's not like let's say we find an asteroid and for some reason we make a ginormous bomb from the things, which is like one of the ethics of it. It's like, oh, if we find one of the asteroids has like some stronger way to make a bomb, what are the repercussions about that?
Yeah.
Or from that, it's like we already have. I mean, this has been a thing for years. You know, so it's like what at this point there's not enough to know about the actual conflicts that could occur from this. But for now, it's way too young of a program to really worry about it. It's kind of like AI in that sense.
It's better to let's see how far this goes. And then that's basically how like a lot of problems have been solved. It's like we're gonna see how this goes and fix the problems that come up. Yeah. Because if you try to preemptively fix problems, it
never works out. Yeah, it never works out. It never works out.
I think I'm totally down for space battles. Pirates, dude. I have a friend that.
The only issue I would see is all that debris.
Oh, we have so much debris right now.
I don't understand that. How does it never crash into the Earth?
Just orbits. So like getting into geostationary orbit, it's not like well, there's technically like mathematically there's a single altitude that you have to reach, but like a couple of kilometers on either side of that, you get orbits that are eventually going to decay, but it's going to take like thousands of years.
No.
So you just have this thick band of really small objects traveling at orbital velocities.
I just figured out how we could stop our trash problem.
What?
Just send it to Venus.
Or just the sun.
I don't know if we want to mess with our sun that much.
Do you know how big the sun is? It'd be such a minute amount of mass.
It's at least as big as the Earth.
It's at least. It is at least 3 Earths.
Is it about 3 Earths?
No, it's way bigger. It's like 1 million Earths.
Yeah.
Like Earth masses or something like that.
What about Earth densities?
Earth density? That doesn't make sense. No, it's at least like 3 Earth densities.
You know what?
Earth density is a unit.
Can I please have 1 Earth density?
Oh yeah,
my drink.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the we're on the topic of just space. The idea that the idea that if you had a scoop of a neutron star that you'd have a black hole.
It's insane how dense those things are.
Speaking about density, yeah, if you just had like a little scoop, 1 spoonful, like that's enough to cause a black hole. That's way more than enough to sink the entire Earth into a black hole.
Dang. Yeah.
And more, obviously.
I think I remember also, like, on topic of neutron stars, I think it's like, if you, like, let's say that you somehow were standing on the surface of a neutron star, if you dropped a ball, that ball would, like, break, like, the sound barrier multiple times before it reached the surface. And, like, it would probably, like, oh yeah, if you dropped a ball, it would have, like, when it impacted the ground, it'd have the equivalent energy of, like, a nuclear bomb.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's how dense, and that's how much it bends space-time.
Jeez.
Neutron stars, man.
And neutron stars.
Neutron stars are crazy.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know they were a thing until my senior year of high school. That was the one important thing I learned in high school.
Neutron
stars.
I think so. The weirdest things in space, I think, they all have to do with like how much mass is in one single point. So neutron stars, that's like there's so much mass that like protons and electrons are like ripped from the atoms themselves, and it's just the nucleus or the neutrons, right? So like neutron stars are entirely neutrons. That's the point. No, but it's insane that like it basically tore its own atoms apart, you know. And then there's obviously black holes, like the poster child of weird space things. But
Dude, black holes are the way to get to the past.
okay, I mean, like I can't disprove that. Like, what are you expecting to say?
They're the ways to get to the future and to get to the past. That's the amount of different ways that movies think of how you could mess up life if you go into the past.
Or like time travel. There's a really good XKCD comic. I think it was an XKCD comic. Oh no, it was I think it was Minute Physics. A Minute Physics video, kind of like explaining all the different types of time travel in fiction. So like Harry Potter, Time Turner. I think that's what it's called. Time travel. Primer, time travel. And then like typical like Flashpoint, time travel, all that stuff. And I think it's interesting to see like the different systems, so to say, and like how like your interaction with the past changes things.
I just don't get it. I don't think time traveling can actually happen, because if it did, wouldn't we already see it?
Yeah, it's like, oh, like somewhere in the future, if time travel to the past was possible, then there should have been evidence of it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Like.
Well, I think
I think it just defeats itself.
Time travel to the forward, like
to the forward.
Yeah, to the forward. It's a thing. You just have to travel fast enough, right? But then all your like loved ones die. Like, I think we talked about it before, where like if you accelerate, or if you're moving at like 0.9% of the speed of light, like a year on Earth, or a year to you is like 12 years on Earth, around that. So that's how to get to the future. But then, you know,
I only run 0.1.
Only 0.1.
Speed of sound, speed of light when I go for a run.
0.1 speed of sound is at sea level. That's about 30 meters per second.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good
for a run.
Yeah, for a run. I think like the humans walk at like 3 meters per second, or no, 3 miles per hour. So yeah, the math.
Better watch out! I'm gonna be on that Olympic track real soon.
Yep. You'd also break all of your bones.
Is that true? Running. There'd be that much thrust?
Well, okay. Let's assume that like it's just your legs producing it. I think if you try to take one step, using enough force to like actually accelerate you to Mach 0.1, right? Within like, let's say within half a second, because that's how much time it takes for you to take a step, right? I think the amount of force transmitted to your hips would break them.
Probably.
Yeah.
But we actually had this conversation.
We did?
Yeah, we did at the Andersons. Remember? Would you rather run fast all the time? Yeah. or what was the other thing?
It was okay. It was $1 million butt question. $1 million, but every time that you want to walk or like basically every time you want to do like a pedestrian act, like walk, instead you have to sprint.
Like your body automatically.
Yeah, your body automatically sprints. So like if I wanted to walk, like get up and just go to the bathroom, I have to sprint the whole way. So for $1 million. But
it's involuntary. It's not like you have a choice.
Yeah, it's involuntary.
Yeah.
So I think I actually didn't answer the question. You would do it.
I did. I would totally do it. Bro, I get in so much shape so fast.
What was your justification?
My justification is that, look, sure, I might be tired the first couple months. The first couple months that I'm doing this, but the amount of jacked that I would be in like a year. Could you imagine? You're so used to just sprinting all the time.
Mm-hmm. because it's not only sprinting, but like stopping too.
Yeah.
Right? So that's basically just like squats all the time,
Yeah.
if I'm thinking of the right muscle groups. But yeah, it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
But the main problem is like your interactions with people. You're walking.
Yeah, I couldn't walk with anybody.
Yeah, you have to like run around or just like kind of wait until they're like 15 feet in front of you and then sprint and then wait again. So yeah, hold up.
It's like, yeah, Jim, yeah. No, yeah, we're definitely gonna have that meeting later this week. How's your wife? All right, I'm back. And
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Playing $1 Million Butt is super fun.
You know how you could fix that?
What?
Wheelchair.
Oh yeah, you could just be in a wheelchair.
Because it's just your legs, so your arms could move normally.
But you'd be such a jerk when it comes to, like, let's say that
would that be considered a disability?
That you can only sprint?
Would that fall like
it like negatively impacts your ability to do normal
a lot of things? So it could be.
But like, let's say that you go to the grocery store, right? You want to reach something like on the top shelf, so you roll in on your wheelchair, right? And then like, oh, I need to get something. You stand up, get it, and then sit back down. So, like everyone around you would be like, that asshole, what is he doing?
Is he disabled?
Yeah, it was like. Did you also like when you go to the bathroom? It's in public, it's like you get to your wheelchair, then you sprint to the bathroom and sprint out. It's like that guy.
This reminds me of when Kanye stopped his concert to make sure that everybody was standing, and there was a dude in his wheelchair, and he was like, "Stand up, just stand up."
Oh no!
And then he had someone go check to make sure he was disabled. Let me tell you, it didn't look good.
Jeez. I thought that story was gonna go a lot different because I know there's like metal bands, like bands that like have mosh pits at their concerts.
Where they throw the guy in the wheelchair up into the crowd.
No, it's a really wholesome story. It's like there was a concert where there's a mosh pit and then no, stop with the guy with there's no people in the wheelchair.
Well, how's this connected?
No, someone fell in the mosh pit and then the guy the lead singer of the band was like hey, make sure that the person is alive. Yeah, because mosh is like super intense and stuff like that. So stop with the wheelchair. There's no wheelchairs in this story.
Dude, I mean, we know all about mosh pits thanks to our sponsor. So,
who is
nothing out here that has changed. If anything, it went from worse to worse, sir.
Awesome. It's gonna be real awkward if we don't have a bit for that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, cool.
I used to mosh pit.
You used to by yourself?
Yeah, by myself.
Nice. Where?
Is that not possible?
I mean, it takes 2 people or 3 is a crowd.
One's a mosh pit.
One's a mosh pit.
2's company, and 3's a crowd.
Yeah, it's a very weird scale that occurs. But
it works. At the end of the day.
Yeah. Be your own mosh pit. That's what I'm saying.
Be your own mosh pit. Mm-hmm. No, I went to a Cage the Elephant concert. It was my first concert.
There's a mosh pit at Cage the Elephant?
Yes. It was my first concert ever. I was a junior in high school. The dark sky was filled with stars. And
what if it wasn't?
Foles was opening up for him. I didn't know Foles at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Love Foles now. One of my favorite bands.
Congratulations.
Yeah, geez.
We had a great time that night. And then Foles was done, and I was like, "Oh, okay, great! My first concert's going super well.
Nice.
Right? Having a good time to Paige and I."
Mm-hmm.
Cage the Elephant comes on. One song in. The crowd goes wild. It was what's that super popular song from high school? Cage the Elephant. Whatever song that is.
Ah, yeah. Shazam it. Oh no, there's a real quick thing. There's an app that you can hum into the app, and it identifies the song.
I remember that was a thing back in 2008. Because I was the only thing I did when I got home from school was look up music and download it. So I was trying to figure out because some songs on the radio they just would never tell you the name.
Mm-hmm. And
so I was like, okay, how can I figure this out? I'm like, can the internet help me? So I looked it up, and it was like, oh yeah, you can hum it. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna hum it.
My computer.
Or I tried it and it didn't work.
But you're Cage the Elephant.
Cage the Elephant, whatever song that was, Spiderhead.
I don't know.
Spiderhead. You don't know Spiderhead? Spiderhead's a jam. that starts playing. The first 5 seconds are good, and then the beat kicks in, and everybody's just around me going psycho. Damn. And I'm like, what happened? What just happened here?
Where's Paige?
Why is everyone doing this?
I had full control of my body, and then 5 seconds into it, my feet were off the ground, and I was hovering with everybody squeezing me.
Man, that sounds intense.
And then I had to leave. I had to leave that.
Man.
Did you leave Paige behind?
No, Paige came with me. I had to find her. There was a dude that was pushing behind me really hard. I turned around, and he threw a punch at me, and it didn't land because I had ducked really quickly.
Dang.
I was very fortunate. And then I punched him in the chest, and then I ran because I did not want to get into a fight at my first concert. I was like, nope, not gonna happen. He was drunk, so he was slow. That was an interesting concert, man.
I'm trying to.
Oh yeah.
What? Oh, I was trying to look up. So this is a really interesting concert story that I have.
Yeah. How was your first concert? What was your first concert?
First concert?
What was your first concert?
I think it was. Well, this isn't. It counts as a concert, I guess. It was Life in Color, and it was supposed to be Zed. Yeah, I think Zed and like Zed.
Lasagna.
No. There was a DJ there. Like his name has like chicken in it.
Chicken.
DJ Chicken Little.
No.
DJ Chicken Little.
And then Dubs was supposed to be there, but he didn't show up, which kind of sucked. But it was Life in Color, and Life in Color is one of those concerts where everyone wears white, and then they spray everyone with paint, like fluorescent paint. So it was actually really cool.
Isn't that dangerous?
No, it's like I think it's like a water-based paint. So you can ingest it. Don't do it a lot. But like, if you accidentally do it, it's totally fine. Jared was actually there.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wait.
It was me, Jared, Ramiz, and Steven.
You guys all went together?
Oh, and Brad. Yeah. I think just because like we all
When
like
was that?
this was like sophomore or junior year, I think. It was like pretty early, like in high school. But yeah, that was fun. But that was like, I don't really count that as my first concert because it's more like a rave. I don't know. Arabe, yeah. But one of my or like a concert that I really liked. It was Small Pools, and I can't remember the second band.
I remember Small Pools.
Yeah. Like the second band was like it's a woman, right? And she sings Circles, I think. I can't remember it. But what was cool was that I was actually volunteering for that event.
For Small Pools?
Yeah, for the concert, the entire concert.
I remember I liked one of their songs, but then that was it.
Mason jar? Okay, yeah.
This was years ago.
Anyway, but Small Pools and whatever that other band was, I can't believe I can't remember the name. But before the concert, I just had to like lead them to like their little like staging area, you know, so then they can chill before the concert. And then basically it was in like there's like a basketball court nearby, and they're like, hey, do you have like a basketball? And I'm like, no, I can find one. And was it Radiohead, the second band? Anyway, but so what ended up happening was that Small Pools, me and two other guys, and then whatever the second band was, like I feel really bad for not remembering, but we all played Knockout. Well, we played Knockout, and then
oh yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah, it was really weird because it was like just I'm casually playing basketball and like getting dunked on by Small Pools, like the band. So it was really cool. That's my favorite concert.
I think the closest thing to being with like somewhat famous people. Never mind, I don't have a story about that. I've never been with anybody that's famous.
I mean, who's the famous people that got married here?
Oh yeah.
One of the Wahlbergs.
The Wahlburgers. My sister goes to school with the kid.
Nice.
They're in the same class.
Oh wow, that's actually really close.
Yeah, they're in the same class. Apparently, he's pretty chill. Yeah, for being a kid, that's got to be weird. Like he didn't ask for it, you know. The kid was just born into that life.
And I think that like most like if you.
How fake are those interactions with people? That must get to them.
Yeah, like I think like you.
That must be insane.
If you grow up kind of like with that constantly, you just like learn to be really humble because it's like you're trying to get a legitimate like social interaction.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't want to like also be part of that fakeness. So you just have to be really chill. Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, they know that they're not gonna. That's what I don't get about a lot of people who are famous and say they want to live a normal life. It's like, really, why?
If you have that opportunity, like I would absolutely take advantage of it.
It's in some ways more in smart ways, not necessarily dumb ways.
Like just if you have wealth, like do something
with it.
Like with it, you know. Yeah. Don't just like sit around.
Just chill and make podcasts.
Yeah. I mean, like honestly, if we were like stupid rich, as in like fuck you money rich, you know? Like I would totally still do this podcast.
I would do it more often. We'd probably do this daily.
Oh yeah, that'd be intense. We'd have to get a team to do that.
We'd have to do it live too.
Oh yeah, that'd make things easier.
A lot easier.
We could just like make it a constant stream. Like yeah.
We're always mic'd up.
Always mic'd up. It's just a reality show.
Yeah.
You know, there's a surprising amount of celebrities with YouTube channels, but they don't have like a lot of subscribers and stuff because it's this weird thing where like if you start on the internet and make it big in the real entertainment, you know, like TV and movies, then you know your base just grows from there, right? But if you're famous in real life, right, and you try to make it on the internet, it just comes off as awkward.
Yeah, it doesn't work out.
You know? I think it was James Franco. Yeah, I think James Franco like has a YouTube channel, and it was Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey has a YouTube channel, and it only had like a couple thousand subscribers. And like for as famous as he is, like that's really surprising.
I think those are two different worlds. I think there is a community of people that enjoy the internet and enjoy certain personalities that are found on the internet, and those personalities don't necessarily correlate with people who are famous because of movies and stuff.
Yeah. I think like the movie or the big budget like productions, I think those are mainly telling stories that people want to be true, and then like online content, it was basically born out of people like displaying what is true, right? Like the reason why vlogs are so popular is because, you know, like, hey, this is like real life, this is what other people experience, you know. If you try to do like, or basically the equivalent of vlogs in like TV, it's sort of reality TV, but because, you know, there's so much incentive to make money, they dramatize it. So if there was something equivalent to like the rawness of internet on TV, you know, it'd be a lot
the
better.
Problem with vlogging every day is that honestly most days it's just a chill day, nothing really happens.
Yeah, and
that's kind of nice, you know. Could you imagine imagine all the cool things that we've done and doing that in 1 month every day?
Yeah, that would
suck. Exhausting.
Do you watch Casey Neistat?
No.
Okay. So I'm trying to make a video, like a travel video, and someone said like, oh, you should look up Casey Neistat, because he basically, what Casey Neistat does differently than most people that vlog is that he doesn't try to show like the realness of the world. He tries to show the intenseness, or he tries to show stories, right? Basically doing vlogging, but like cinema style. I think that's like it's an interesting video style that I think works a lot better than most people.
Just being like, hey, I'm in my kitchen.
Yeah,
cooking up some ramen.
Instead of like hey, what's up, guys? You know, like instead of using your phone to vlog, he's using like a $1,000 camera.
I always like how if you're right hand doing something, you gotta have your left hand doing something.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
you can't make it awkward, you know. But yeah, it's like whether you like Casey Neistat or not, I think like what he's done with vlogging has definitely changed the game. In terms of like how stories are told on the internet. Oh, you repping the shirt? Oh damn, we have merch. Damn, I didn't bring it. So I wore mine a couple days ago, so yeah. If you want to send us stuff to get the logo, do it, and we can put our logo on your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that we do. I got a nice little screen printer in the basement.
Yeah. If you want stuff 3D printed, I guess.
Because we're always doing something new.
We're always doing something.
Legit. I mean, I want to get a drone, and I'm excited to learn about drone properties.
Ooh, would be interesting.
The properties of drones.
So like, you're gonna get a camera drone, right?
No, I'm just gonna get a fighter pilot drone.
No, what I was gonna say was like, I kind of want to see like those FPV drones, like they're racing drones, but with a really nice camera on it.
Like a DSLR.
Dope. Well, no, I mean like the racing drones are like really small because they're supposed to be movable.
Racing drones?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Whoa.
They're racing. It's how do I?
It's like drones that just race.
Yeah, they race. Like it's basically you go through hoops and stuff.
Oh. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
Eric knows what you're talking about.
But those like the cameras are just meant so then the pilot can see like what the drone is seeing. What I want is one of those drones, like so super fast, super maneuverable, and like having like FPV capabilities, but put a 4K camera on it. I really want to see that. That'd be dope.
I think when I was looking at the Mavic Air, it goes like 20-30 miles per hour.
But the view isn't really live. There's like a couple second delay because it's Wi-Fi. Yeah, FPV is radio, so that's the difference.
That's constant.
Yeah, it's basically instantaneous.
Basically.
Basically.
How fast are those waves going?
Speed of light. Radio waves. Yeah.
But it's not instantaneous, bro.
Not instantaneous, but
it's statistically insignificant.
Statistically insignificant. There is lag induced by the actual processing of the image from signal to visuals, but it's a lot smaller than just going over Wi-Fi. So, yeah, I want to see a racing drone with 4K video.
I thought it was funny that Bluetooth doesn't work in water.
Yeah, because the radio waves are the speed of light is different in water.
Water is such a weird substance, man.
Well, yeah.
Think about it. You can freeze it.
Mm-hmm. You
can make it a liquid, and if you heat it up enough, it becomes a gas.
That is literally most substances. What are you talking about? Well, okay.
And it rises.
Water is interesting in that when it freezes, it expands, right? So
you get potholes.
Yeah. But that's actually like insanely good because basically, what?
I'm just thinking about the anarchists that started filling in potholes, and they.
There was an anarchist that like he was so pissed that his city wasn't doing anything about potholes, so he like started drawing dicks around the potholes. But then like the city would come and fix them.
Oh, I was talking about something else.
Oh wait,
there were anarchists that were fixing potholes, but they didn't know the proper way to fix them, so all they did was just fill them with asphalt. And they thought that's how you do it, but apparently that's not how you do it. There's more to it.
How do you do it?
Do I look like a pothole expert, bro?
I feel like you would eventually come across that in your studies.
Man, you know what? Let's take my studies.
It's your architecture.
Hello, Google.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Google? What's good?
How do you fill a pothole?
Carefully.
Remove debris from pothole. Begin by raking or shoveling. Fill the pothole. Compact the patch.
I'm guessing like they just poured it in.
But it's for driveways. I'm not sure. The roads are totally different.
Yeah.
That's why there's a little more engineering to it.
There's so much mass, and like they're in the sun all day that I'm guessing that they expand a lot more.
But yeah, so these anarchists were filling in potholes, and they thought they were better because of it. And it's like, no, dude, you just made the pothole bigger because apparently it went away like a day later.
Yeah.
Like they just didn't do it correctly.
There's also that guy, I think it was in like the UK. He filled potholes with fruitcake.
Fruitcake?
Yeah, fruitcake.
You know what? You know what the worst part of that is?
What?
Some people call that art.
There was that guy that filled potholes with plants. like flowers.
That's artsy.
That's
I'd say
pretty.
that.
That's pretty cool. It was
That's
really
nice.
cool, and like people like avoided the potholes. So it's like, oh, I don't want to run over the plant. So it was like useless for fixing it, but it looked really nice.
That's such a good idea.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's one person that's like, I'm gonna ride over that fucking.
Oh, I think that eventually happened.
That
Like one
does.
guy was just like, it's
Fuck that
plants.
flower.
Yeah, like what do the plants owe me?
That's such a nice idea.
Yeah, beautify your communities.
One pothole at a time.
One pothole at a time. That'd be an interesting project.
Forcibly create potholes so that you can put plants in them.
Just like take a pic to the road. It's like I'm gardening.
That's,
What are you doing,
that's
man?
urban. That's urban gardening.
Urban gardening.
Somebody just puts a freaking tree in the middle of the pothole.
A tree. Yeah.
There
Well-
are some places that have trees in the middle. It's called an island.
No,
Like,
man.
yeah, and the roads like meant to delineate like ongoing and
Yeah.
technically all traffic is incoming, depending on which way you look.
That's true.
I don't know. Would you consider incoming when you're leaving a big city? Is that incoming?
Oh, I was
traffic?
talking about like if you're standing on the
Oh.
highway, it's like incoming is just like
Shit.
whatever cars are coming towards you.
Yeah, you can't have negative direction.
Well, vectors. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Vectors here.
Mr. Vectors.
Jesus. We're not engineers, all right, Paul? Even though vectors are really easy.
Yeah.
I will give you that. I will give you that. Vectors are very easy. Don't you have to leave soon, bud?
What do you mean?
250.
250?
You got enough time for random thoughts, bro?
Probably not.
What are chickens?
What are chickens?
What are chickens?
Do you know what chickens are? Have you ever seen a chicken in the same room?
Have you ever
as-
seen a chicken wearing blue pants?
Oh my god.
I haven't. But can you disprove that a chicken has not?
Well, bro, right here, if you want to get your own eyesight with chicken pants.
What? What was that?
I just showed the people a chicken wearing pants.
Was that really?
Okay, I'm gonna assume that little bit worked. But yeah. Unfortunately, I have to.
I'm hoping they enjoy this. Yeah, Paul's got an engagement.
Yeah. Getting engaged.
So
No, I'm not.
He's gotta get engaged.
No.
That's not gonna happen. He's too young. He's too young.
How
No.
old are you, Paul?
I got at least one life ahead of me.
One life
Yeah, one life. Used to have two. But that was
One, two.
before the war.
before the war.
They're cold.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Alright, bro. Alright, guys, well, I guess we don't have enough time for random thoughts besides what is chickens, but what is chicken?
We'll do a post show. So
Yeah, we'll do a little
watch the
post-show.
post show for our random thoughts of
Yeah.
the week.
Yeah, and once again, the post shows they don't correlate very well.
Yeah.
So the most recent post show is the pre-show to our podcast for next week.
Oh man.
And they actually go out every Monday, so it's kind of like I like to think of them as a sneak peek to the podcast.
We should just change it to like behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Because
I
they
guess,
happen
right?
like
So we should call them pre-shows.
pre-shows.
Check out the pre-show that we did post.
Malone.
Stop.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Don't forget to check out our website.
Smash that like button.
Smash that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
I like I never talked to that.
Like I said, we got blogs that we haven't been writing in about a week now because midterms just happened.
Yep, midterms.
But we'll be back on that grind shortly.
Mhm.
Videos are coming out. This guy right here, Critical Engineering, should be coming out by the end of the month.
I don't know if I'm going to call it critical engineering, but look out for videos from me.
Yeah, from Paul, from the Paulford.
Yep.
Paul Pete.
Please don't.
All
No, I do not want that nickname.
right.
Duck times. Duck times.
We'll see you guys in the next podcast. Once again, this is the Tree Chucklers podcast. Number 9.
Number 9. Oh wow, we're almost at episode 10.
We're going to ASMR.
The one with mostly video. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.